So today I want to talk a little bit about 9 freakishly effective marketing hacks. The first one would be that we've found that you can increase your average order value, meaning that each order will be worth more if you do two things. One is give people the chance to buy more than one of something. We found, and we started this with t-shirts, but we found with t-shirts, with any kind of e-commerce stuff, that the ability to give people to buy more than one, to buy multiples, can have a dramatic increase and a dramatic impact on your average order value. Even if just every 10th order decides that they want 2 of something or 3 of something. But we had people that were like, I want 10 of those. And maybe they'd be buying them for their friends. It doesn't obviously apply to everything. It's if you're selling cars online, I doubt somebody would want to buy another car. But the truth is, you don't ever know. The other thing that you can do, let's say that you are selling cars and you're like, well, I can't do multiples. Nobody's going to buy 3 or 5 cars. Then you can create a bundle of things that they would be buying. So the easiest thing here is to think about, what else do I sell, or what affiliate products or integrated marketing things can I do? What strategic partnerships could I form with other people who have products that my customers are buying immediately before they buy the thing that they buy from me, while or during the time that they're buying the thing from me, or immediately after. We call these BDA, before, during, and after products. And so anybody that is buying something, whether it's a product or service, actually, before, during, and after the time that they're buying your product or service, you can add your product into a bundle with theirs and then offer your customers the ability to acquire the entire bundle. Increases the average order value dramatically, allows you to have significantly more revenue. All right, number 2, friendly forms. Friendly forms boost conversions. What's a friendly form? Well, how many times have you ever gone online to buy something and the form comes up to enter your first and last name, your email, your phone number, your address, how old are you, what's your average income, all this stuff? That's too much information. When you are getting someone at the very beginning, before they know, like, and trust you, you want to get as little information as possible, because it's not an ask for that much. You can ask initially for their email, and who cares about the name and that sort of stuff? Everybody knows that you're just going to do dear first name anyway, right? Start out just capturing the minimal information that you need, which I think in most cases is just an email. Now, later, after they've given you the email, you can say, can you also share your first name and last name, or things like that. But at the very beginning, keep your forms lean and simple and watch your conversions go up. Okay, number 3, just as form minimalists are going to perform better than long, complicated forms, the same thing applies to your landing page, to your home pages. The other thing that you want to do is you want to keep those simple, right? Just like the forms, you want to keep them simple and clean. Think about how Google outperformed Yahoo. Yahoo was in the lead. Google came along. It was just a simple thing. It was like the only thing people want to do is search. So there's not a lot of clutter of news and a bunch of things like that. It's a very simple, very, very clean search screen. So you want to think kind of like Google does there when you have somebody coming into your landing page or even to your home page. Keep your message very, very simple. Think about the one thing that they're going to want to do most. On your home page, I know it might seem harder because that's supposed to be a page that's for everybody, but on your landing pages, those are literally built for specific audiences that are coming for specific things to your site. So if you've got a landing page that's like / eyeglass offer, then you'll want to talk about eyeglasses and nothing else, whatever the offer is that they're coming from. The other thing you want to do is to maintain consistency between what is the look and feel and messaging in your ad that they're seeing and the look, feel, and messaging that they're going to see on the landing page. And then also carrying that over the order page. That simplest, minimalist kind of approach and that consistency and continuity of brand, message, look, and feel across any page that they're going to is going to help you increase your conversions. Okay, number 4, let's see. Number 4 is, how many times have you logged onto a site and it has a little pop-up that says something about notifications. Can we send you notifications? Would you like to receive notifications? This is something called web push. And so there are several programs. You can just Google web push notifications. There are several programs that will allow you to do this. And what this is doing is building another list. So you have a few different lists to think about when you are running ads or driving traffic to your site. You've got people that show up to the landing page that you have. You're going to typically pixel those people. So there's a little pixel that Google or Facebook or whoever, or all of the places that you're using will put on the page. That's just a little bit of code that you put on the page. And then when they go there, you're building what they call a pixeled audience so that you can retarget them. So that's list number one. List number two is that once they get to the stage, to the page, they're going to get an opportunity to enter their contact information and particularly their email so that you'll have their email. Now you can remarket to them that way. But another way that really gets overlooked a lot, and this has had as much as a 9 times conversion increase, is to do web push. So that would be a permission to send them push notifications on their browser. And what that is, it's kind of like a text message, but it's a separate list now that you'll be able to have that you can market with. And they're very, very, very well consumed. So they're consumed much, much more frequently than email, and they're consumed much, much more frequently than retargeting. So it's definitely something, it's almost like being able to text message, which would be the fourth kind of list that you can build. Okay, so definitely think about that. And particularly these are effective with abandoned cart recovery or things like that, where somebody's gone on your site, they put something into the cart, they've added it to the cart, they were going to buy, and then for whatever reason, they got distracted by a cat on a skateboard or something like that, or just the whirlwind of their life. So what this allows you to do is say, hey, did you forget something? StockX does a good job of that. I've seen several websites. I'm sure you have too. But that's something to think about, building a list using web push. Number 5, tell stories. Stories convert so much better than anything else. If you can tell a story, and I've seen a few studies on this where things were listed on eBay, and for the exact same item, one listing told the whole story of the item, and the other listing simply had the item for sale. The conversion rate on the story just blew all other versions out of the water. So whatever you're selling, think about, how can I take a story and weave the story around the product or service that I'm selling? And if you feel like you don't have any stories, then you can also borrow stories from other people. So just keep an eye out, maybe keep a story journal. And so for each product or service that you're selling, each offer that you're making, think about, just be attuned out in the world when you are engaging in humanity. What things do I see going on that I could tell a story that I could tie back to the thing that I'm selling? I had this recently with my son, whose cat got sick at Thanksgiving. And I told a story about that, how unanticipated expenses can come up. And it's really helpful to have multiple streams of income and revenue to cover things like that. And I took a story from one of my business partners who sold a piece of real estate, and then somebody sued her 4 years later. The people that bought it sued her 4 years later because they said that the view got interrupted and she had guaranteed the view, which wasn't the case. But it was another good example of this unanticipated expense. Another business partner of mine, his daughter got Lyme disease and a lot of unanticipated medical expenses. And so I just took all of those stories and I wove them in to my presentation of the product and service that I was offering and talked about those. And it's really, really effective. It just helps you become more human. It helps people to know, like, and trust you better. Number 6 would be using UGC photos on e-commerce to bump conversions. So UGC is user-generated content. So anytime that you are selling a product or service and you can get other people to talk about that, and you can have them create content of them using the product or service. It could be snippets and screenshots of their social media, but any content that your customers, your users, your people who are consuming your products or services, any of the content that they are creating, and it is super, super helpful because it's like a third-party testimonial, right? It's social proof. That social proof of other people buying, consuming, and being happy with your products or service. That makes the rest of the world say, okay, this is probably a legit thing, right? There's so much fake stuff out there. It's hard to create fake UGC. Okay, so what else do we have? We have number 7. When you have the ability to allow your customers, whether it's an e-commerce site or a service offering, a general website, whatever, to chat or text you, that can be a huge conversion booster. So 2 different things there. One is you're posting a phone number and you're saying, hey, you can text us anytime. We also say WhatsApp because we have a lot of international customers as well who might not be able to text, or it might be super expensive for them to text. So we say this number works on WhatsApp as well. The other thing would be chat. So if you see the little pop-ups that come up on sites that say, hey, I'm here, is there anything I can help you with? That really, really helps boost conversions because it helps you to get the objections, concerns, or other things that might stop somebody from moving forward with the purchase, moving forward with the customer journey. It allows you to actually interrupt the objection with answers that will help them while they're on the site. So that can be super, super effective. And so if you give them the ability to call, if you give them the ability to text, you give them the ability to WhatsApp or otherwise message you. Facebook Messenger has plugins that will allow them to message you as well. These are all very, very effective and just general chat. Okay, so let's see, where are we? Number 8. Number 8, content. Drive leads with content. Content is so effective. The idea, though, is that it's got to be valuable content, something that people can actually use. So when you're thinking about, I want to sell my product or service, rather than just saying, buy my product, buy my product, buy my product, or listing the features and benefits, create content. Particularly if we go back to one of our other tips here, right? Create content that is story-based. But whatever you're doing, create helpful content, but don't make it clickbait and no useful information. Make it actually things that people can use. I can't tell you how many times I've completely left a site because it had some interesting thing, 6 ways to increase your conversions or something like that. And then they didn't tell you. It was just like, think about increasing your conversions. Be good, build a good product, have a good offer. It's like, that's not helpful at all. Tell me specifically what I can do. So if you're going to do something like that, create that content, make it good. That's going to be a huge, huge, huge thing. Another really cool thing, speaking of content, is a tool. It's called Sniply.io, Sniply. I don't have any ownership interest, not an affiliate for it or anything like that. What Sniply allows you to do, and there's several other services that are similar, so you can Google services like Sniply or look at the ads if you put Sniply into just Google generally. But what it does is it allows you to put a link over any content. So you can put a link to your product over somebody else's video. It's pretty cool. So that's something that I would definitely check out. We found that we can have really, really good conversions, particularly for leads, for sales too, but especially for leads using Sniply, where we're using some really cool piece of content. And then 10, this is a bonus. So it was 9 freakishly effective things. Number 10 is when you are sharing video content, think about using a mid-roll video opt-in. What is a mid-roll video opt-in? What that means is that at the beginning of a video, so if you're showing somebody a video about something they're interested in, and at the beginning, you ask them to opt in, give you their email or something like that, they're probably just going to leave. They're probably just going to hit the back button and go away. But if they get sucked into the video and they start watching it and they feel that you're delivering valuable content, about halfway through, to put a opt-in that allows them to opt in to see the rest of the video, that's one option, or simply just to opt in and they're going to see the rest of the video anyway. That is a really great way to drive leads. We found that to be super effective. So that's 9 freakishly effective marketing tactics that you can use. If you want a lot of additional really cool stuff, I've got a whole channel full of it, and you should subscribe so that you don't miss any of it, because I'm uploading videos all the time. There's a lot of things that are changing in this area, and you don't want to miss out. You don't want to do it wrong, and you don't want to make the mistakes I made. Subscribe so that you don't miss out, and then check out this next video.